Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Today, guys, of course, we are continuing the Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. This is Season 2, Episode 3, Acts of Vengeance. Not really sure what that's implying or what that might be relating to, but regardless, I'm really excited because holy shit, Season 2 has been bonkers as crap. So, literally the first episode, as I mentioned, I think probably at the end of the first episode and then the beginning of the second episode, probably again in the second episode review, Dr. Doom, Fantastic Four. So much cool shit. Second episode, Alone Against AIM, was interesting, but it wasn't like, oh my god, holy shit, like the first episode. But some really interesting tidbits happened. And the fact that Maria Hill mentioned Spider-Man and X-Men. Like, she name-dropped them. I'm like, wait a minute. I shouldn't be too surprised, because we had Fantastic Four, like, we name-dropped them and shit. We saw them in little cameos, but they actually showed up. And now you're dropping that? Okay. You're going all out. Holy shit. Okay. And then War Machine, which was really, really cool. Rhodey came back, which I believe, if I remember correctly, he was only in the Season 1 premiere, which was the Iron Man episode of the show. And I think at that point, he's just gone. He's just not seen again. So, I'm really curious about what this episode entails in terms of Acts of Vengeance. You know, someone had mentioned this too. I think it was after I had uploaded the Private War of Dr. Doom on Patreon. Someone had mentioned, or maybe it was like on YouTube, because I'm behind a little bit on YouTube. And people are saying, don't look at titles. It could spoil something. It might have been on Patreon about the Dr. Doom, the Private War of Dr. Doom, the Season 2 premiere. Don't look at titles. Well, I like looking at titles and speculating, because sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. I'm still surprised as hell, because I still enjoy the shit. I still enjoy the episode and all that kind of stuff, so just the way I am. But anyways, so curious about the title. Don't know really sure what's going to happen, but hey, I'm excited as hell because I'm loving this fucking show. So let's get into it now. Season 2, Episode 3, Acts of Vengeance. Let's go. Groot? Kidding.
Where is Zemo?
Okay, she's getting revenge on Zemo.
Please. No, you promised. I lied.
I kind of wish it was still the same intro. I've been complaining about this, and
They became the
I don't know.
Avengers. You seek news from Midgard, but there is still no sign of the Enchantress.
oh, she's there. We just saw her. What? What was that?
Odin must be warned. The seal has been broken.
You're gonna want to see this, Cap.
I mean,
That's the
Scroll.
laser.
You are so ungrateful. This is a good thing.
I mean,
Go ahead, Iron Man.
probably not great.
I know you are there.
I know you were there.
All I want is Zemo. Tell
I'm
me
not
where
MODOK,
he
but I'm
is
close.
through
They
this.
look kind of similar. Oh! That was good!
Responding to a code blue in progress. Jarvis.
This is never good.
No.
Cap, come in. We found Arnim Zola.
Avengers, I require your assistance.
Team up? Never mind.
Hulk, stand down. Now I'll stand down.
That was great. Wait, one more punch.
The Avengers.
Awkward.
Okay, the Avengers are just standing there. Guys, any particular reason?
Where is he going? Twilight.
What do you mean, God?
You sent Dynamo to die.
That's what a team is for, yes?
Hmm?
You should be concerned with the Enchantress.
Yeah.
Without Thor, you have no defense against
I like the
her
reflection.
magic.
Don't be so sure.
You have my word.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I think Zemo's gonna figure out that's not really Cap.
You're gonna make me stick to that,
I
aren't
was wondering about that.
Look, we all know Zemo's not
How's it gonna be
gonna
figured out?
surrender. We have to...
I mean, did Crimson Dynamo know that he was being sent to die, as they said earlier? There you go. Yeah, you can still hurt her. It's just,
He's gone to you for help, hasn't he?
I'm giving you one
you're too smart.
chance to surrender.
All of them would gladly let the Enchantress have her vengeance against me if it suited their needs. But not you. Not the noble Captain America. Isn't that right?
He has found a cure for you. What? Zemo is an evil man.
Will they actually give it to him?
I do not believe that you are.
Not you. Captain America.
Warning.
You mean Skrull America.
So
I have to keep saying that because, like, I mean, you just gotta remember that as you're watching the show. It's not really Cap.
Guys, it's Executioner.
I'm glad that she's talking more because for a while she wasn't saying anything.
That is not Chemistro.
Oh, that was a good cover. Good cover. Yeah.
disappointing.
Yeah.
The Twilight Sword is gone. The barriers to Muspelheim have fallen.
They must not have gotten the voice actor for Odin back. Clancy Brown, I think that was the voice actor.
Your life was forfeit the moment you betrayed me.
Okay, hello. Welcome. Did it kill him? No. Wow. So I was wondering if it was actually going to work.
I turned off your magic. Just come along quietly. I don't want to have to hurt you.
Dynamo, Wonder Man, destroy the Avengers.
Of course. It was a double cross, of course. Ooh. It was all waste to destroy all of them at once, I think.
I'm not going to stand by and watch anymore. I'm not going to let you hurt anyone else.
I'm glad he's turning. Oh, you fucking idiots. You idiots. Why? I guess it just makes it too easy. Do they both just...
Because of Wonder Man, with the Nornstone's power, the Enchantress may very well have been unstoppable. Wonder Man's
I thought they wouldn't know by now. I was like, is that Surtur?
No.
Oh, they're not... Oh! Oh, shit! Damn. There you have it, guys. The third episode of Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes, course Season 2. Overall, pretty good stuff. Focusing on the Masters of Evil and really focusing on Enchantress getting revenge on Zemo. And, well, I mean, I guess everybody else, but mostly Zemo for what he did, which they showed in the previously on Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. And showing Enchantress just basically taking out the Masters of Evil basically one by one to get to Zemo to get him because he betrayed her, which, of course, as I have mentioned a lot of times when they were building the Masters of Evil in Season 1, that unlike hero teams, villain teams do not work because the villains think differently, they think for themselves, they want to push themselves to be better villains. They can't work together as a team. It just doesn't work. It's just not a part of what made them become a villain. It just doesn't work. So it was going to fall apart. And confirmed because Zemo betrayed Enchantress. Of course he did, because she's the most powerful. She was going to betray them anyways. Like, she was just using them to get Loki and do all this stuff, you know, to get Loki out or whatever. So it was all about her using them, and then, of course, Zemo's like, well, I'm going to betray her because I got to get her on my side. I can't have her running this crap because that's what she was doing. So, yeah, so she was hunting them all down. Not, as far as I'm aware, nobody died in terms of Masters of Evil. Like, they all pretty much survived. Now, the one thing is Wonder Man. Is that his name? Because he had then switched to the good side, and he pulled the last thing apart, that rock or whatever, and Enchantress is now with Surtur, which is a really cool reveal, but it didn't show anything about him, so I'm guessing he did die. So maybe I was actually wrong there. But I'm not really sure because then again, this show likes to just not reveal stuff right away. It likes to take its time. So I had a sneaking suspicion because, see, when Zemo showed up in the mansion and Hulk and Abomination are fighting, it's really funny. And then he's like, stand down, Hulk, and he gets one more punch, and that was fantastic. I love that moment. But I'm like, okay, Zemo was very specific on making sure Cap is like, no, I want to hear it from him. I have his word. It's not really Cap. It's not the Cap you fought. So I think he started to suspect, and I think he pretty much knows that's not Cap. Because at the end, he's like, you've changed. And then you see behind Cap, Skrull Cap, is a shadow, and you see the pointy ears of the Skrull. You see it's not Cap. It's clear. So, I thought maybe this is going to get revealed. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, how are they going to reveal it? Because it's not just Cap. Sue is also a Skrull. I don't believe anybody else in the Avengers. Maybe the Fantastic Four, maybe they're not having as good of luck because we're not focusing on them right now. So, I think with the Avengers, in terms of who's in the roster right now, no one has been turned into a Skrull besides Cap. With Sue, they made a point to specifically show you at the end of the first episode of Season 2 to showcase that is indeed not Sue Storm. It's not her, it's a Skrull. So I feel it's still just Skrull Cap. It's still him. I knew there was going to be a betrayal because that's how Zemo is. Zemo, you can't trust any of these villains. But there was going to be a betrayal. And of course, as soon as the dampener is on, okay, now, kill the Avengers, take them out. Like, okay, because of course the dampener gets destroyed immediately. So I think it was to do two things, in terms of showing the dampener working against the Enchantress and then it destroying pretty much immediately. The first thing it was, I think, trying to tell us as the audience is that Stark is too fucking smart. He figured it out. He knows how to do this. Good thing. The second thing was to show how easily it can be destroyed, and that if that thing constantly stayed on, Enchantress would never be a threat ever. With Enchantress now under Surtur, which, by the way, Surtur looks awesome. Looks really, really good. I think Surtur's going to show up. Or Enchantress is going to be under Surtur, because he made a point to say, you're working for me now. So I believe we'll see Enchantress again. I hope we see Surtur again, because that was pretty awesome. Now, throughout this episode, Thor, along with his father, who was not speaking, because I believe the voice actor, Clancy Brown, I believe it was Clancy Brown, probably wasn't available, so he wasn't there to talk. Along with, I forget his name, but they were all walking because the seal or whatever, like, Thor can't go back to Earth right now. So they're trying to figure out what was going on, and it wasn't really, I guess you could say, it's basically just explain why Thor can't just be there, because Zemo expected Thor to be there to go against Enchantress. But then, oh, wait, we have a different thing, because Stark's actually been working on this for months about potentially, you know, a dampener that could work against Enchantress, which would have been helpful in Season 1. But, you know, it is what it is. Really good fight sequences in this episode. Seeing, you know, basically, I like how they had set it up where they were finding Masters of Evil members already taken out, basically, by Enchantress, and they were trying to figure out why. We knew, because we saw in the opening Enchantress taking out that one guy, I forget his name, but then disguising herself as him to get in the building. That was really smart in terms of getting the mansion and getting right down there where the dampener is, but she doesn't know that. She thinks there's no way these humans could have anything to stop me, the Enchantress. Well, they did. Well, unfortunately, got destroyed. So, the last little few things here before we end the video. I've been thinking a lot about this. I am so curious about when they're going to reveal the Skrull invasion has begun. Like, when they're actually officially going to have not just us, the audience, know it's already starting, but have the characters to figure it out. I feel like it's going to probably happen hopefully sooner than later, because I thought at this point maybe they would have already revealed, or maybe someone found out, and then they get taken out and replaced by a Skrull. You know what I'm saying? Something, but that hasn't happened yet. So they did a beautiful way of setting it up early on, was having Cap be taken out at the last thing you see in the Season 1 finale. becoming Skrull Cap, and then at the end of the first episode of Season 2, the premiere with Dr. Doom and everything, the reason why he took Sue Storm, to confirm that's not Sue Storm. To confirm it's a Skrull. Pretty damn smart. But ever since then, it's just been, we know it's not Cap, and they've been giving little hints and tidbits and stuff, because it's not, he's not acting like himself, but they're not going to do that reveal just yet. What I think they did pretty good here, because what they could have easily done, because there was so much that happened within the last few episodes of Season 1 and what they've done so far in Season 2, they could have easily not went back to this storyline of Enchantress and everything. But it makes sense, because you had established it. The Masters of Evil were a big presence in Season 1. It makes sense for that betrayal that Zemo did to her to then come back, and for it to make an impact in the story. So, I'm glad that they did it. At the same time, I kind of wish we would have done something else, maybe Skrull stuff, because that's a big thing that they seem to be pushing right now, because we have the original Avenger is not the original Avenger, but they have went the route of, we're going to hint at it a little bit because Zemo's going to start questioning things, but ultimately we have to cover the storyline because Enchantress needs to get revenge on Zemo, because that's a big turning point in the show, in that episode, that we have to address. We can't just ignore it. So I'm kind of glad they still did it at the same time. So it's a win-win situation, I think, overall. It's not like they're purposely ignoring storylines or just going, it's not important, let's move on to something else, when they can go back and do it. Now, the second episode, the one before this one, they could have easily not told that story, but they still did in terms of, I think it's setting up more stuff with maybe War Machine, with Maria Hill. I mean, that was still stuff they were doing in Season 1, so it might made sense to carry over into Season 2, but they could have maybe handled it differently and told a different story with still having those elements in it. But anyways, overall, great episode, really enjoyed it, and I'm curious to see where we go from here after this one. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. Whatever thoughts you have about the episode, let me know in the comment section below. I will talk to you guys soon.